Morning Exercises, December 28th. And they were both righteous before God, walking in all the commandments and ordinances of the Lord, blameless. Luke 1:6. This worthy couple are known as the father and mother of a very illustrious personage, of whom the Judge of all said, "Among them that are born of women, there hath not arisen a greater than John the Baptist." But while Zacharias and Elizabeth derive renown from their son, they are worthy of attention personally considered. Though not distinguished by worldly grandeur, they were great in the sight of the Lord. And though their names are not recorded in the annals of national history, their characters will be had in everlasting remembrance in the Scriptures of truth. 5 things are here said of their piety. It was sincere. They were righteous before God. Many are righteous before men who only look on the outward appearance. But the Lord, who searcheth the heart and sees actions in their motives, disowns them. A large assembly may be convened together and be engaged in same exercises, but they only worship him who worship him in spirit and in truth. What are we in his estimation? He that judgeth us is the Lord. It was practical. They walked in the commandments and ordinances of the Lord. Divine truth is important. Yet if we know these things, happy are we only if we do them. Practice is nothing without principle. And what proof have we of the reality and excellency of principle without practice? I will put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them. We do not undervalue experience, but the Scripture requires something more than good feelings. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. A good conscience will always be accompanied with a good conversation. He is a vain man who says he has faith and hath not works. Can such faith save him? It was impartial. They walked in all the commandments and ordinances of the Lord. None are universally wicked. Vices are often inconsistent with each other. Prodigality opposes avarice, and covetousness complains of extravagance. All do something, for conscience must be appeased, but they are determined in their selections by the easiness of the thing, or its relation to some one of their interests. They have no regard to the will of God, for if their observance sprang from a regard to his pleasure, this would lead them to avoid everything which he has forbidden, and to inquire after everything he has enjoined. Then shall I not be ashamed when I have respect unto all thy commandments. It was irreproachable. They walked in all the commandments and ordinances of the Lord blameless. It is not said they were sinless. The subjects of divine grace will always have enough to bewail before God. Instead of saying, "I have attained, I am already perfect." But it is a mercy, and this is possible, to be preserved from those falls which injure our reputation and influence, and also from those imprudences which draw upon a man the reproach of folly or weakness when he is not taxable with sin, and from those veerings of opinion which are yet consistent with some degree of fixed principle in higher things. It is well when our good cannot be evil spoken of, and we are without offense till the day of Christ. It was mutual. They were both righteous before God, walking in all the commandments and ordinances of the Lord blameless. This is not the case in every family. In some houses there is no fear of God in either master or mistress, father or mother, husband or wife. In others there is one of these relations godly, and only one. They who are joined together by marriage are not one in the Lord. This difference may be accounted for three ways. One of the parties may have been called after their affinity, neither of them knowing God at the point of contracting it. Or one of the parties may have deceived the other, and some are guarded and crafty, and those who are upright themselves are generally free from suspicion. Or the religious individual was perhaps, how strange, careless upon this subject, and did not feel religion in his choice the one thing needful, or was bribed against his conviction by other things. The two former cases deserve pity, but the third justifies censure, and his error will correct him. For nothing can be more desirable and important than the godliness of both parties. How near the relation, how constant and influential the intercourse, how lamentable in a course where we need every assistance to meet with impediments. How can two walk together except they be agreed? And are there servants? Are there children? Each of the superiors will have their adherents, and it is not difficult to conclude from the depravity of human nature which will be more readily followed, the one who would lead into the world, or the one who would lead out of it. But the case would be more awful still if one of the parties was an official character. Surely a Zacharias should have an Elizabeth. What a disgrace and injury may result from the union of a preacher with an irreligious or indiscreet companion. The Apostle therefore describes the character of a minister's wife as well as of his own, and naturally concludes that he who proclaims his want of piety and judgment in a case so plain and momentous tells how unqualified he is for other matters. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of God?